Tired but determined, Georgia voters waited in long lines again today to make sure their voices and votes are counted.
The Secretary of State's office, Brad Raffensperger, says day one of early voting saw record turnouts, but that does not appear to have deterred very many. Again today, we found hundreds of people at polling locations all across metro Atlanta willing to wait an hour or even more than that.
We wanted to know what is motivating the voters. We have a team covering this for you tonight, beginning with Latasha Givens, who has talked to people all over metro Atlanta. Let's start with her. She joins us in Gwinnett County. Latasha?
Well, Cheryl, voters here at the fairgrounds were relieved the lines weren't nearly as bad as there were yesterday, but we talked to voters all over the metro, and there were two common themes. In Sandy Springs in Fulton County, we met Eric.
That's why we're here voting on the second day.
It means everything.
And Cynthia, who say they voted early because neither felt comfortable voting by absentee ballot or on election day because of the potential wait times.
I've been waiting 4 years, so I'll wait as long as it takes.
I think this is the most important election of my life. I wouldn't be in another place.
A repeated theme when we spoke to other voters in Lawrenceville and Gwinnett County, like Marie Rogers.
I just was a little nervous about election day and how things may go that day. So as a family, we just decided to go ahead and get it done.
We also talked to voters in Smyrna and Cobb County.
An hour and a half.
Eric is voting early for the first time.
No, I normally just vote on election day.
He saw the long lines yesterday and decided to vote today instead.
I don't think I've ever voted early in the past.
While some counties anticipated a wait time between 4 to 8 hours, everyone we talked to was able to vote within 2 hours and some even less than an hour. Cheryl?
All right, I'm going to take it from here, Latasha. Thank you. We have been watching those online wait times throughout the day, and here's what we noticed in Gwinnett County, where they had 9 precincts that were open today for early voting. When we checked in around 11 a.m., the maximum wait at any Gwinnett location was about 3.5 hours, and that was at the county fairgrounds. By 1 p.m., most locations and their wait times were either holding steady or they were increasing. The 3 exceptions, Bogan Park, Mountain Park, and the fairgrounds. But when we checked 10 minutes ago, the times were fluctuating again. They were all over the place. With the Lawrenceville Elections Office now closed and most precincts, waiting times either holding steady or they were increasing further.
We mentioned a record-setting first day of early voting. More than 128,000 people voted yesterday. That's 42% higher than the record set in 2016. The biggest turnout yesterday was in Fulton, DeKalb, Cobb, and Gwinnett. 11 Live's Doug Richards is live in DeKalb County. Doug, county and state election officials expect these lines to thin out soon. That's what they're saying at this point.
Yeah, and here at the DeKalb County Board of Elections office, there's strong evidence based on the rather shortness of the line behind me that you really don't have to wait all day if you want to vote early, particularly if you devise a strategy that perhaps includes using an absentee ballot box or simply waiting for the crowds to thin naturally, which will happen according to officials. There were long lines in Henry County today and some parts of Gwinnett and Fulton and DeKalb County yesterday. Election officials say it's history repeating itself, really. Same thing happened in the June primary and in the last presidential election in 2016. Lines were thick early and then they tapered off during early voting after a few days. Election officials say it appears voters want to show up the first couple of days and really don't adapt to make their wait times shorter.
It's not necessarily voter suppression if you've provided all of these locations during an early voting format and there happen to be lines. Every presidential election during early voting, we have lines, and we tried to anticipate that.
Fulton County Elections Director Rick Barron says that it is quite likely that next week, Monday through Friday, the lines will have tapered off considerably, and we got some data from the state a few minutes ago that verifies that that's exactly what happened in June. The second week of the 3-week early voting period was easily the lightest, and then it picks up again in the weekend immediately prior to Election Day. So if you want to vote early and you don't want to stand in line, next week would be a good place to target. Back to you.
All right, Doug, good information as people make a strategy here.